Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's very early, I know. If you're wondering why we're 3 minutes late, it's because we were talking about Buffy.
Yeah, which is honestly there's a
More
grace
important.
period for talking about Buffy that everyone just has to accept.
Yes. Like they highly important, possibly more important than reading currently because
Yeah.
Buffy.
Yeah.
So, oh wow, that's a lot of people that just jumped on at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Hell yeah.
Y'all are at it. I love it. Okay, give me just a second. I
When
just
you
want
say
to.
Saturday morning sprints and you tell me 11, I'm like, that's the afternoon. This is the real morning.
So this is about usually when I go jogging on a Saturday, but because I'm getting my hair done, I had to do that last night.
Right.
Because bad things happen to my skin if I put hair dye on my head after I have been for a run.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
anyways, why am I getting? Brianna will be on eventually. She is not alive yet. Which
it is 7 a.m. there, so that's fair.
Agreed. I had the option to sleep in today. Did my body say we were going to do that? No. It was like, it's 7:15. You should be awake. I'm like, this is really, really convenient that you've decided to start doing this on the weekends, but or on the weekdays. But I was up till 2.
I know, I was up really late too, and then I slightly opened my eyes around 7, and that's all Cassie and Brian need to be like, time to wake up! Like, your eye twitched. So that was, yeah, not well rested sleep between 7 and 8 a.m. Oh, we lost Margaret. She's frozen.
I'm back. Sorry, my internet likes to just cut out at times.
I was like waiting for you to reply, and I was like, is she okay?
I'm absolutely not okay. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, what was your cool story?
It wasn't a cool story. It was just I also tried to sleep in, but then I like twitched my eyes a little, as the sun came up, and Brian and Cassie were like, breakfast for us?
See, your dogs would be so miserable right now at my house because my mother is making chicken broth, so the entire house smells like chicken.
Oh, they would be because they're not smart enough to be miserable. Like, they're not smart enough to be like, oh, we're not going to get any of that. They would be in the kitchen, completely just sitting there looking at your mom, like, maybe if we're cute enough, there's a chance. Like, they're so optimistic.
It's literally in the crock pot. It's been cooking all night long. She's making bone broth, which is fine. That's great. The whole house smells so gross right now.
Well, if they're being bone broth being made in my house, they would get some because it's really good for dogs.
Yeah. We didn't give it to Susie regularly, but towards the end, we did put some of it in her food just to give her a little bit extra.
One of the best things you can do for them, actually. Like, bone broth is one of the best.
It's so good for you. Like, it's one of the few things that I'm like, I will keep this weird woo-woo thing that my mom does if it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is kind of expensive, but bone broth is very good.
You can make it for your dogs without any of the spices or anything either.
Yeah.
You can just do the bone.
Oh, I don't think we did a lot of spices. Primarily, we'd make big batches of it when I would, because I used to do, I would do 3-day fasts to kind of reset my gut. Because the main thing that my body reacts to is food.
Right.
So, and I don't know how calorically dense the bone broth was, but it was good. And my skin was always better after that.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. All right. So we've got people here. That's so cool. I have not sent out links yet, but I should probably do that, shouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
At some point. Give me just a second. I'm going to put it on Twitter, and then I'll do Discord once we go to break. But first, we have to get to YouTube. How is what are we reading, by the way? How is your morning going?
Well, because we're here for eras, I am reading still The Forgotten Daughter by Brianna. Yeah. But I found the audiobook last night, so I'm going to probably give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because
maybe one be fantasy and let one be the lit fic right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I have all the sci-fis here on my Kobo. I have comics sitting here that I just want to get to, and I have my vampire fantasy series. And I'm like, okay, fuck historical fiction right now. Like, I can't. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
enjoying it. It's not that it's bad.
I understand that. Okay, let's just do. We are live. I'm gonna do so simple, and then I'll retweet it on the Eras feed.
I'll retweet it too. For my like 7 Twitter followers. No, I have more than that.
More than that.
I'm just not active on Twitter. Really.
No. I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't be as active on Twitter either if it weren't for the fact that like most of my friends are there.
You're so active on Twitter.
So yeah, well that and I also get really bored.
Fair.
At work. So
fair. Yeah, I can always kind of tell what kind of day you're having at work based on your Twitter stream.
it's one of those things that I'm just like, this story is going on for so long. I got to do something or I'm going to lose it. Primarily, it's just like that's the best place for me to vent without taking it out on my coworkers or on the actual patient that's being stupid. So
yeah, no, fair.
So, anyways,
my coworkers and I vent to each other about when people are dumb. We're like, "Did you see this bitch? What she said?" And so I get it out that way.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that a lot of the time I can't, like, you're not in a lot of the people I talk to are not in a good mental place. So I try not to take it personally when they're super rude to me, when they're like shorter than I would personally like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, you are so entitled right now.
Actually, fuck off, maybe.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things that, like, if this was someone that I had an actual relationship with, we when you calm down, we would be having a conversation about, hey, it is not cool to treat me like that.
Yeah, I don't actually care how bad of a day you're being. I'm a human being, and I deserve a tiny bit of respect at the very minimum. But yeah.
I had somebody that, like, she was referred to services for us. She requested inpatient, and I was like, we don't have inpatient. And she was part of a case plan.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm homeless, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my dog if I go inpatient, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And so we spent like 40 minutes on the phone talking and trying to figure stuff out. And I was like, okay, well, I will tell your case manager this. You know, I'll tell that we talked, that you are feeling like maybe you need, like, da-da-da. So she knows you're following up on this stuff. You're not just ignoring her. And she's like, okay, I really need to talk to somebody. Can you? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not a counselor. She's like, well, I was like, I'm like, I have a meeting, and like, I straight up lied. I was like, I have a meeting in a few minutes. I'm sorry, I have to go.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, put me on with someone else who can talk to me. And I was like, no. I'm sorry.
That's literally not how therapy works.
That's not what you're getting paid to do.
I always hate that in TV and books too, where people just call their therapist and are like, hey, I'm having a rough moment, because it's just not allowed. I couldn't just call Bridget and be like, hey, my life sucks today. I have to make an appointment.
Yeah, well, and we definitely have moments where if the patient has I think they can communicate via text with our therapists. Like, they have some sort of contact number for them. We'll have moments where the therapist, if the patient is going through crisis,
yeah,
they'll touch in. They'll be like, if you are going through a crisis, text me.
And you know what? I could call mine too and be like, hey, I'm going, like, I need an appointment now, and she would make it work. But it's not like, I feel like people have this expectation that you have 24/7 access. Hey, Julie. Hello.
They expect to be able to get like a walk-in appointment, which for intake, sure, you could right now. Well, actually not right now, but you could have a couple of weeks ago. But you're not going to sit down with a therapist then. Like, the number of people that call, I just had someone call me yesterday, and we're sitting there talking, and she's like, oh, I have to go through an entire intake process before I can get med. And I was like, it's required by the state.
That's just any medical care ever. That's just what it's like. I'm so sorry.
I have a brain scan. You can't just write me a prescription for Ritalin or Adderall. I was like, it's a controlled substance.
The dentist office across the street. Give me a root canal now.
Like we can barely write scripts for the people who are actually allowed to have it. It's a controlled substance. Which I had an entire 40-minute conversation. I picked the phone up. I was supposed to leave at 2 for an appointment with my dad, or 2:30. Picked the phone up at 2 o'clock, talking with this guy who wanted psychiatric care. And so I got him set up for an appointment. And he's like, well, how do I know? Like, are you going to do the calling for me to see which pharmacies have Adderall, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, we can't. I'm like, we can't guarantee that because it could change. Like, I understand that the shortage is really frustrating, but we don't have any control over that. And like, you can tell us what pharmacy you want us to use, but we are.
Also, maybe I'm just a piece of shit with like.
It's not our job.
Then it's not your fucking job. Be an adult. Exactly. Call the pharmacy. I'm sorry.
Like, and you don't know which pharmacy like he's gonna prefer or want to go to, or his insurance, any of those things.
We could call a pharmacy and confirm that they have a prescription for Ritalin or they have it in stock. It may not be that case by the time we prescribe it to him, get him through the intake process. And I was like, I can't guarantee that won't happen if you come here. Like, that's not like, we can do what we can to help you. We may have a better idea of where you can go, but I can't even guarantee that he's going to prescribe your Adderall. Number one, I'm like, I have to say they prescribe based on symptoms. They don't prescribe based on what medication you're on. Now they will take medical history or medication history into account when they're doing their prescribing, but you may not get that. And that's been a no for some people. They've been like, no, I know this is what works for me. So no.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had so many people call in for Suboxone right now too. And we don't prescribe Suboxone because we don't have the facility to monitor that.
What is that even?
It's one of the opioid, I believe. It's like methadone.
Gotcha.
So it's a replacement.
Gotcha.
But there is a level of monitoring that like we can't even because there's such a risk for overdose. There's a level of monitoring that has to happen, and so to a point that we're not even always comfortable prescribing regular medications to people who have Suboxone.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm sorry that went off on a tangent.
Welcome, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hello.
Welcome. I am joined by my two friends, Cal and Julie. Today, Brianna is going to be joining us later. They are both booktubers that read books. Cal primarily reads like a lot of queer lit and a lot of fantasy, and also has cute dogs.
I guess I have 3 now.
Yeah.
Porto lives here now full time. Porto.
You've started it. And then Julie, I'm not as familiar with your channel, but you seem to be kind of like an omnivore reader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Usually I read something. It has to have magic of some sort, but I'll read whatever, and I try to mix nonfiction and regular fic and all that stuff in with it too.
Yeah. Nice. What are you reading this morning?
I'm actually reading The Pledge.
Nice.
District for you guys. But it returns to the library it actually returns to the library in like 3 days, so I have to start it.
Probably you get to read that.
Yeah.
Nice. And then just a random audiobook at some point.
Yeah, I have to choose a new one. I just finished this Poison Heart finally, so I have to choose one.
Nice. I read 5 books in the whole of February and finished 3 books last weekend. I was like, March is just different.
Yeah.
And then I finished my 4th one yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm currently sorry. Sorry, I heard you say something and I'm totally.
I said March has been going well.
Yes, March is going well. Currently I am in reading All Systems Red by Martha Wells for Tor.comathon. I can't remember what prompt this is hitting for air. That wasn't even the one that hit the floor. It knocked something else down.
Oh my god.
And then this morning, at least, the main focus is going to be reading The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown. It is a middle grade spooky story. Very this is giving me more chills and thrills than some adult thriller and horror books that I've read.
Ooh.
It's so spooky, and it's like so spooky in a way that's just like, oh, I'm flashing back to when I was a kid and like, oh, this would have been so creepy for me. Like I would have not been able to read this book. This is my main focus because I'm getting my hair done. So I'm going to try and bring another physical read that I can start at the hairdressers. So I want to be finished with this. And I'm almost halfway through, I think. So I'm thinking, because we're going for shorter, because we're only going to like noon today, I'm thinking we do a 45-minute sprint to start. How does that feel to everyone? Or do we want to start with something a little bit, warm ourselves up?
It makes no difference to me whatsoever.
I know you'll figure it out. There is, by the way, Cal, it's not on my channel yet because there's only 2 videos on it. There is a timer playlist on my channel.
Okay.
That has both of the timers on it.
That would have good last night.
I don't know if there is a way to bookmark it, but
yeah, I could do that.
Okay, let's see. We're gonna do 45.
I was like scrolling around looking for it, found my vlog with Briar. I was like, oh, your vlog with my Briar.
I can send you the link for the playlist. Let's see. Okay, there we go. 45 minutes. Give my computer a minute to catch up. She's in fine form right now. We've already lost internet connection once this morning.
Oh no.
I need to see where to start this from. My audiobook.
We have people in the chat. I'm so dumb.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sitting here talking with y'all.
It's still early.
Yes. Okay. So we have give her a minute. We got Library of Alexandria joining us. We have Rye joining us. Hello. We've got Lovable Reader. Hey there. Welcome.
good morning. Good morning.
Rye asked what I do. I am the admissions coordinator, or basically I'm the first person that people talk to when they're trying to come and be a patient at our counseling office. We provide counseling and psychiatric care. So I quite often get hopefully the Cliff Notes version of everything that's going on with them. Sometimes I get more than I want to know, and sometimes I don't get enough for me to be able to be like, I can definitely tell you that this is the right fit for you. But also I need people signed up for intakes. So unless you tell me something that's an automatic no, I'm going to be like, yeah, let's get you signed up. So I try not to waste people's like visits like that, but sometimes it happens. Librarian of Alexandria is reading Gargantus by Thomas Taylor. It is a middle grade book, pretty good so far. I have a couple of middle grades on my list because I have to get to starting Arusha today as well, because we're talking about it next Thursday. We also have Ashley Gorton. Welcome. Your cat is cute.
Very cute cat.
So
I
cute.
love Marmalade.
I do have a soft spot for orange cats.
Yeah, they're such marmalades and tortoiseshells, because we had a tortoiseshell when I was a kid.
It's the same with orange dogs, like duck tollers, orange cats. I'm just like, that's a nice color.
Like redheads.
but like for animals.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make that clarification for animals.
I mean, technically, I am also a redhead, sort of. Not technically, but in theory, appearance-wise, that's what we're about to get. You can't see it. My roots are like this long right now. They're like so long. I can't do with camera. So, anyways, and then Brianna will be taking a shower, and then she'll be joining us as well. I am going to go make some tea, and then I'm going to read some of my books.
Tea's a beautiful idea.
It is. It sounds fantastic great. At 9:22 in the morning. I usually have more tea by this point. So, let us pull up the timer. Oh, goodness. Let me see. I'm going to pull up the timer. I'm probably going to read some Murderbot while I make my tea and post links, but then we will get to the Forgotten Girl. All right, 3, 2, 1, and mute your mics. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hold on. I'm coming, Brianna. I'm going to get you in a minute. All right. Hello. Welcome. Okay, there we go. All right. So, real quick, we are joined by Brianna over at Four Paws and a Book. She also reads a lot of queer lit, a lot of romance, and has a lot of dogs. So, okay. Real quick, Brianna, before we get into how everyone did, what are you reading right now?
I am reading Secrets in the Dark, which is the second Voices in the Snow book.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ryan and I are buddy reading this, and I'm a little bit behind yesterday's buddy read.
That's thick.
I have like 120 pages to read today.
Yeah, it's not
It's
terrible.
fine. Yeah, I got this.
You guys read for 22 hours this week, and that means you have to read for 7 hours every day.
Hey, we already did 5 last night.
Exactly.
There you go.
I also did other things during my day, so I definitely passed the 7 hours yesterday.
Yeah. I got 5 hours and 9 minutes, most of it done during your sprints.
Those were productive sprints.
Yeah.
They were very productive sprints. Holy shit.
It was really funny watching you guys just like slowly spiral into. I need to know.
That
It was-
is
yeah, we
the
can't
idea behind those sprints.
We can't say a thing because Julie's reading it right now. So
I feel like one of you might, or I feel like you might, Cal, have messed with the timer a little bit because I remember looking up and being like, I thought that this timer was short. No, okay.
No, but there was one sprint that I was like, this is a really long sprint.
maybe it glitched. Like maybe it.
Potentially.
No, I don't think it did. I think it was just when we were like right in the meat of the story that we were just like, but I read like maybe like 70 pages that sprint.
Right, there are some like towards the end. You're just like, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's
Okay.
flying. It's going very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to pick it up and see about reading it. It doesn't happen to be a tour title, does it?
No, it's
No.
Macmillan.
Okay. I might have to wait till next month to read it, but that's fine.
It's fine because we're probably gonna end up having to do our live show late because like I have a dog show and then I think you have a dog show.
When do I not have a dog something?
Yeah.
It's funny.
But then like I have the tour.comathon readathon or live show on the 1st, which should have been the live show for this. So we might have to push it into like the first weekend in April anyways.
Okay.
Should
So that
make
was in
sense
time.
based on-
I don't think my library has it at all. So it's something.
Yeah, no, mine didn't either. I found it on Pango for like $5.
Nice.
Also, I am gonna put mine back on Pango, so you know you could just
You know what?
Buy it from Brianna.
you can just buy it from me.
There you go.
Although I have one of your books in my cart right now.
One of mine or one of Cal's?
Cal doesn't have Pango.
Okay, never. That's right.
They're
Do you need it soon, or do you want me to just bring it in May? Because I'll take it off of Pango and give it to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to replace my Shadow and Bones into hardcovers.
I don't have any of them in hardcover. They're all paperback.
No, that's not true. What?
No,
That's-
you're right.
I think it was like Ruin and Rising.
It's not Ruin and Rising.
Or
Hold on,
no,
I
it's
can
the
check.
green one. Siege and Storm.
Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, it's Siege and Storm.
Yeah.
So I spent, that one was the hardest for me to be able to find that cover. Was it? No, Shadow and Bone was the hardest for me to be able to find without the Netflix logo on it.
Oh yeah.
Does mine I don't think mine has a Netflix logo. I just have them in I have them all in paperback, but then when I got King of Scars and Rule of Wolves have such a pretty hardcover that I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna replace everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they had such a hard time finding those without the Netflix thing. I find like I had to buy the full trilogy
That makes sense.
to get Shadow and Bone.
Yeah.
I still haven't read the original 3, and I just don't think I ever will.
I wanted to do it this month, and then
It's
I came
funny.
up with another fantasy video series, and that book is going to, or that series is going to have 18 books on it.
Brianna,
Ooh.
What?
are you okay?
Just checking in, doing a wellness check. Just gotta make sure.
Yes, because here's the thing. I was smart and I did not put a timeline on this.
Oh, that's
I'm
smart.
not going to put these out until all 6 of the videos are done. That way I can do
That
them
is
back to back.
smart. Yeah, so you could like you'll
There
have content that's
Yeah.
already done, pre-done.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, double check with and figure out which one it is, and I'll just remove it from Pango. And
It's the green one, Siege and Storm.
okay, yeah, I'll bring that to you.
Thank you.
You're
What is this stitch? This is weird.
Yay. How did we all do by the
I read 10%.
Nice.
So I just did that 5 more times, and I'm done the book.
Yeah.
Good.
There you go. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. My Kindle says I read 70 pages, but I don't know how that's possible. So we'll see if Kindle pages are real pages.
Hey, that's
Is it a neck? I think they're pretty close.
Yeah.
All right.
Like if it's an actual Kindle book, not if it's an ARC. If it's an ARC, then it's like really wonky.
No, it's a real ebook. It says 24%, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hell yeah.
I got
Not mad about it.
There you go.
16 in all systems red while I made my tea and did a couple of other things. And then I got 20 in the Forgotten Girl. And I just realized what this grandma might be talking about when she's talking about, because she keeps going on about these spirits in the snow. And we just found out that she thinks a child died, like a girl died when she was a kid because of these spirits in the snow. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, what looks like snow and would have been very prominent and something to warn children about in the South in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, that's what you texted me about.
Oh.
Like, oh shit. Because like the main book is about segregated graveyards. That's what kind of gets them into this. So I'm just like, it got real.
Ooh.
Are you reading this for a vlog or is it?
I am reading this. This is the final book on my I Read 3 for February,
Oh, okay.
which will have 2 in theory. We'll see.
Wait, what?
It's February may have 2. No, sorry.
March.
This would be for March. Never mind.
Oh,
Never
I
mind.
thought you meant we'll have 2 books, and I was like, but
No.
it's an I Read 3.
It's an I Read 3. This one I started in February, I believe. And
I
then-
read 3. I can't count.
Yeah, and then the I Read 3 for March is going to be tour books.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
So let's check in with these peoples. That was Brianna, and you're here now. Hey, Michelle. Michelle has joined us potentially. There we go.
Oh, Under the Banner of Heaven is so good.
I need to read that.
It's
Under the
such a
Banner
good.
of Heaven while I get dressed.
It's wild. Like the
I mean,
show.
I saw the show.
The show is good, but the book is even. It's like more evil. If that's like,
Oh.
I would say it's more evil, especially. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
was that the book that keeps. No, that's the one that's the kind
Mormon
of
murders.
That's the
Yes.
Mormon book.
But it
With
traces that set of murders through like the entire history of institutional violence against women in the Mormon church. And
Oh, wow.
I read it right before driving through the place where the murders happened. And I was like,
Like the exact
"Whoa!"
town.
Oh, wow.
It was so well timed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is funny. That's one of the ones I want to read eventually. That's the thing that has
They
Andrew
changed-
Garfield in it, right?
Did they change the name of the city in the book too?
Nope, it's American Fork.
Okay, in the show they changed the name.
Well, because Under the Banner of Heaven, I think, is a nonfiction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they
Oh.
changed, so there's the cop in the show isn't real. Like they just like they made this fictional Mormon cop that you can like sympathize with as he like, goes through this crisis of faith.
So
But
the
in
cop
the,
isn't in the book.
he's not in the book, no.
Okay.
The cops in there don't get really any attention. It's mostly like the family and like the parallel story of Joseph Smith.
Right.
But the crazier thing in the book is that the husband knew the entire time what his brothers were gonna do. I was just like, I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. He's making these weird threats about my wife. I don't know if telling her would be a good idea, but I'm just not gonna.
It's fine.
Everything's
I don't
fine.
think anything will come of that. So yeah, it's such a crazy fucking book. It's so good.
A lot of it, people do that though. They brush that off when it comes to like, oh, that won't actually happen.
He didn't mean it.
Honey.
He meant it. He meant it.
He did mean it. How do you feel now?
Oh, yay! Thank you. Ro.
Oh, yep. Ro said last night's sprints were so fun. Ro was my buddy in the chat. So, and then Ro also said, I'm reading Dear Henry, a Jekyll and Hyde remix by Kaylin Barron. Pretty writing.
I've heard really good things about this one.
Interesting. Pretty writing, but the romance is too fast. A declaration of love in the 3rd chapter. Wow. Okay. I understand how that may not work for everyone. It would depend on the book for me.
I read one of the other remixes because it's like a series of classical story remixes, the Great Gatsby one, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. Bethany just read that Jekyll and Hyde one, and I think gave it 4 stars.
Nice.
I think I remember her. I've heard about it before. And then Elena is currently reading The Tate's Curse. I love that book. Like, for a book that doesn't have much Percy and Annabeth interaction, that is the most Perkabeth book.
I think it really captured my attention in my youth because it was the one that introduced like the Hunters of Artemis.
Yes, of course. Artemis is my favorite.
As a wee child, I was like, wow, that's cool. And as an adult, I'm like, oh, I'm gay. Oh, they're all gay. But,
That's so funny.
Yep.
Yeah, Artemis was my favorite as a child of the goddesses for reasons I don't know or understand.
I mean, she's also like, I feel like she's also good asexual representation.
Yeah,
she's pretty demi. Like she gets it when she wants to, but not very often.
Yeah, exactly. I think like her, like I liked her. I like Athena. And it's funny because they're both very, when you get into what they do, they actually have done, they're really messed up people.
It is way more problematic than Artemis. Oh my god.
I mean, yes.
Artemis is occasionally like, let me turn you into a deer so my dogs can eat you. Like,
let me turn you into a deer because you were violating my privacy. So like, at least that was.
Yeah. Like her, but Athena's just like, I'm going to abandon all other women in pursuit of these Greek heroes I'm obsessed with. So, to Medusa.
True facts.
Ooh.
There are some interpretations of the Medusa myth that I actually like, because like there are some that like interpret it as, and this is a more of a contemporary art thing, but like there are some that will interpret it as her granting protection to Medusa, so that Poseidon will not pursue her again. And I don't remember exactly.
How'd that go for her? Because she ends up decapitated and on Athena's shield. So, like, I don't really know about that.
I don't know. Anyways, like, there are some that are really, like, they do interesting things with it. But anyways, yeah, she's a messy one. Nadim has joined us. Hey, Nadim, how are you doing today? We scared Rye. I thought someone was talking through my son's camera in his room. No, that was
to be fair, Ryan is also reading a horror, so
yeah, jump scare that you weren't expecting.
Same. And I'm actually loving the way that this is introducing like and handling like bias with kids and schools and things. So like if you have a middle grade student and you are looking for something for them to read, this is a good one for spooky season if they are not easily scared like I was as a child.
I hope to God I never have a middle grade student. Oh.
I love middle grade horror because it like you can't be gory and like slashery, so you have to really rely on the atmosphere.
You actually have to be scary
and like the spookiness of it, which like in any the world building is always my favorite.
India is doing it brilliantly.
Nice.
Nadim is about to read Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. Yes. He's on. What just happened? Okay, Haruki is definitely on my list of authors I want to read at some point. Elena got to page 138 and chapter 10. Rose, like, I'm glad to have Shadow and Bone in the first runs. It's from 2012. I love the original covers. I also like the new covers. Like, I think they're both really good experiments of design. I think the new covers work better as paperbacks, in my opinion, because they have that flap. But I still like it. Librarian of Alexandria, read 6 chapters. Nice. All right, Allie needs our help. Allie says, got nothing done. I read nothing, getting around for the day. I cannot decide what to read. The audiobook is Head Full of Ghosts, middle grade. And the physical is The Land of Stories ebook. Oh, hold on. We've got Head Full of Ghosts, which is a middle grade. No, wait. Okay, I see what happened. Head Full of Ghosts is the audio. Land of Stories is the physical, and then The World Gives Way is the ebook. I'm feeling the ghosts right now because I'm reading about them. What about y'all?
I don't know what any of those are about, so I abstain from voting.
I've heard really good things about A Head Full of Ghosts.
Yeah.
And also, audiobook is a great way to start your day because then you can like get all your other things done.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm unfamiliar with those, but ghosts are always fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to finish the Murderbot so that I can get on to Ruin of Kings because that is also on my TBR for this month.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
Do you have the audiobook for Ruin of Kings, or are you going to read it physically?
I have the audiobook for Ruin of Kings.
Okay, because the audiobook is really good.
I have the
audiobook. They use a different voice for the footnotes, so you know.
Nice. I have the audiobook for that and the audiobook for the Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning.
Okay.
So I have to check and see. I think I might have to read the Princess Will Save You first because it does have holds. But the audiobook for Ruin of Kings is Hoopla, so I can get it at any time.
Ruin of Kings is on Hoopla? I had to find it on Libby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Hoopla is different based on your library.
It didn't used to be. When Hoopla first started, it was not. It was very, like, everything was like 99% similar.
It's always been that way for me. So I have that, and then I have Over the Woodward Wall by A. Deborah Baker.
Ooh, I have that one too, but I wanted to read Middle Game first.
Yeah. Oh, that's because that's Shauna McGuire, right?
So Over the Woodward Wall is the book that's referenced inside of Middle Game.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. There's like a whole other, it's like a whole series, and it's very meta because apparently it's very similar to The Wayward Children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Well, then that just tells me I don't need to read it.
Yeah, you might read
it. No thanks.
Oh, Cal, apparently the audiobook for Small Miracles is terrible. Because every single footnote has a little harp note before it starts its footnote.
Oh no!
And there are so many footnotes in that book.
I'm imagining like the old Zelda games where like the little fairy thing would be like, "Hey, listen! Hey, listen!"
Yeah.
Like that. Like,
I hate music in my audiobooks. I'm like barely tolerate it when it's
I don't even like it at the intro.
The beginning and ending.
Especially when you listen to it on fast, so it's just like it's like and you're like, whoa. Okay.
No, in the Spiffbo group the group chat that we're in, someone started listening to it on audio and they're like, I can't do this. This is the worst book ever. And I was like, read it physically.
Yeah.
I can manage music going into the book and going out of the book. I'm like, okay, I can't really do anything about that. I'm fine. But
it's just a couple of seconds. But Small Miracles has so many footnotes.
But when you have sound effects in the actual audiobook, I'm like, I'm sorry, that takes me right out of the book.
The only time it worked was for like Illumine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a multimedia style thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No, I had one, and I don't like, I'm also very picky about singing. If the narrator sings, if they don't have a good, like a singing voice that I like, it doesn't even have to be a bad singing voice, just a singing voice I don't like.
That's how I feel about people singing in general. Like, I'm like, either be committed to being bad or be very, very talented. Otherwise, do not sing. Ever.
I can't tell you that I am very, very talented, but I did take voice lessons for like 6 years. So.
Well, then I'm sure that you could either like
I can be on key.
You're like singing along in the car, like nobody's trying. Like everybody's just like singing bad on purpose. You're just like letting it out. That I'm fine with. Singing the shower, I'm fine with. But when someone's just like a mediocre singer and thinks they're really good and starts singing, like it happens in audiobooks a lot. I'm just like,
Well, it's also really bad when you're on 2.5 times speed.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so creepy. It happens in Sandra Clare books all the time.
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Okay. We also had Eat, Sleep, Read. Join us. Hello. They're switching between Divine Secrets of the Aya Sisterhood and 1984. That is a great.
Whoa.
Those are two heavy books.
Oh my god, I love
Are you
that.
okay?
Is everything okay?
That's fantastic, though. Okay,
Listen,
Allie
you have
got
to take advantage of the like good headspaces when you get them.
yes.
Truly.
1984 is freaky. I mean, like everyone thinks that it's freaky because of the like government monitoring part, and I'm like, yeah, that's freaky. But what's freaky to me is that his like depiction of just like your average run-of-the-mill guy thinks about raping this younger woman all the time, and I'm just like,
I hated that book so much.
is nobody gonna critique this part?
Right. I was like, I am more worried about this than anything else.
I think the government should be monitoring this one. This
Right.
one,
This guy in
You know, in some
particular.
cases, they might have a point.
like he kind of is doing thought crimes. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Nice. All right. Allie is 55% into A Head Full of Ghosts. It's a horror by Paul Tremblay. Okay. Librarian of Alexandria really likes music in their audio.
Fair.
It might be the specific brand of neurospicy that we are. So
It's true.
also, again, because I was trained as a voice singer, like there are
You can
ranges
hear it.
that I can tolerate, like of skill, and be like, okay, you're trying, like I can, you're at least hitting the right notes, da 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 da.
But
Also
narrators
ranges
usually
of,
are not.
this is not singing. You're just monotone.
Do you know who could do it? You know who could do it, Margaret?
James Masters.
James Marsters. He could do it. He's the only one allowed.
Potentially. And it's funny because I love the singing. This is going to sound really sad, really, really nerdy, but like the Lord of the Rings books, he doesn't really, it's more like a poetry recitation, but he does such a good job did the version I listened to, did such a good job of whoever the narrator was of like singing them. And I was like, you're not trying, you're just kind of almost like it's spoken word.
Fair.
So, Grace Adams is reading Elle Kennedy, their first Elle Kennedy / Serena Bowen book, Underwhelmed.
I've heard not great things about Elle Kennedy from Danielle. Danielle
Yeah.
reads. She was like, I'm not into this.
Rye
awesome.
also read one last year, an Elle Kennedy. I don't know about the like combo one, and
Yeah.
she didn't like it either. And so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, like I'm not rushing to pick this up based on a friend's less than favorable review. No.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I have pretty close taste to somebody and like they have scathing reviews about it, I'm like, I'm not gonna pick it up. If
Yeah.
it's somebody I don't know and they have a 1-star review, sure.
Maybe I'll give yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then E Sleeper says, wait, no, I am not at that point yet.
Of what?
Of
1984.
1984.
Oh, well, it happens across the
process.
entire book.
It's
the entire book.
That is the entire character arc.
He sees a woman and he's just like, oh, I'd love to rape her. And you're like, what? Oh, God. And this is our protagonist?
This particular dude in particular maybe needs some extra help.
It says
Yeah,
hi.
he's terrible.
Hi, Schmidt.
Hi, poodle boy.
He's getting so
Mom,
big.
you haven't fed me yet. I would like the breakfast.
Schmidt, we're meeting in exactly 2 months. How do you feel about that?
Yes.
He's like, I don't feel anything and I cannot hear you.
And I'm very singular focused right now.
All right, hold on. Let me get this set. Oh, pardon the airplane.
What are you going to do?
There is a small airport very close to where I live. So, and those are exactly the kind of planes that also Coast Guard close to where I live. So, all right. Shall we do another? I think this will be the final sprint. Let's do another 45 maybe. Unless we might be able to get like a 20 or a 30-minute in before I have to go. So we'll feel it out when we get there. But 3, 2, 1, mute your mics. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hello.
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 I'm 50 pages from the end of the book.
Nice.
On a little bit. It got creepy real fast.
We're at another 10%.
There you go.
Nice.
Just got
Same time. Same
four
speed.
more. You got 4 more sprints.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, let
I
me see
did
how
40
many
more pages.
Nice.
I can't remember where I started, but I'm on page 109.
Nice. I am. Wow, that was 78 pages in 36 minutes, apparently.
That's a lot. On audio?
They go by really fast.
Oh, middle grade. Yeah, that makes
Yeah, middle grade. So, hello. Oh, goodbye.
I saw that.
I'll block that. I can't remove it here, but I'll block it. Okay. Oh, good. That gets rid of it. Perfect. Okay. So, Rye just got just got the nail place. Got my Dungeon Rainbow book. Got my books. I'm all set. I love it. Nadim says 8 pages of Kafka on the Shore. Nice. Brittany says, hi, just getting home and ready to read for the afternoon. Nice. Send me the link so I can post it on the Era's Twitter for you so people will know that it's happening.
Yeah. What time does that start?
I think
It's at
Brittany
11
started
my time. So 1.
like, yeah, 1 o'clock.
Wonderful.
Librarian of Alexandria. Read a few more chapters, about halfway now. Allie is 71% into A Head Full of Ghosts. Eat, Sleep, Read is 41% into the Yaga Sisterhood.
Nice.
Elaine is at 148 in chapter 4. Hello, Lisa. Romance reader Lisa just joined us and is currently reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi.
Oh, I'm so
Nice
excited for that.
popularity. I'm like, nice. I'm probably picking that up on my way home.
Yeah.
From getting my hair done.
Oh no, have to buy books.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I
A
was
new book to buy.
that up and Don't Fear the Reaper. However, someone forgot to deposit the money for their passport into their account and has a couple of overdraft fees. So I think I might have to wait till next time to get that one. So
That'll
we
do
might
it.
only get one book this time.
That'll do it.
So completely forgot I had to do that because I sent it on like a Saturday.
Ah,
Mm.
But at least I know they've cashed my check and they've got my stuff
there you go.
Mm-hmm. It's there. It's in the process.
in the process, and I paid for them to go faster. So hopefully I'll have it by April. That's
You should. I feel like Derek got his back in like 2 weeks.
yeah. Well,
And
I
mine took like a month and a half, even though we sent them at the same time.
oh my god. Yeah,
I was
it's
stressing.
You're more suspicious than Derek. They don't know. if
Apparently,
they-
even though
traveling out of the country.
I was just renewing mine.
that's funny. Yeah, I'm renewing mine. It says 5 to 7 weeks. So I sent it last weekend, so that puts me like the beginning or the kind of mid to end of April.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Mine came back faster than what they said it would.
Yeah.
So.
My mom's is always slower and she always gets stopped at airports because she was born in Venezuela. So they're always like, but you're white. What's that all about? You're not an immigrant. Like they're all like weird, and that's my American accent for Canadian. But they're always weird about it. They're like, Venezuela? Like it's so weird. It's all she always gets bothered about.
Does she have a Venezuelan passport? Or a
No,
Canadian
she was like they moved home really soon after she was born. She's like a naturalized Canadian citizen. Like
right.
no
Mhm.
issues at all. She's not Venezuelan at all. But
Wow.
she was just born there. They just happened to accidentally get pregnant while they were in South America. So they
Well, they were in South America for a hot minute if she
for
was
5
born
years.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years. Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes sense.
But she can't
Yeah.
remember it, right? Like they moved home when she was 9 months old.
Yeah,
Right.
I have friends. I mean, technically they were born on American soil, but they were born. I have my friend's oldest daughter was born in Germany because they were a military family.
Military, yeah, that's really right. But nobody would look at like a German
Yeah.
like a location and be like, "Are you a secret communist terrorist?"
I mean,
Maybe you are.
would they be bad though?
Infiltrate Canada, of
Would
all
it-
places.
Of all places.
Would it be-
We really have it out for Canada.
Yep, right. But that's why I'm like, really.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then
Um,
Miguel gets it a lot when he's
Yeah.
traveling in the States, where it's like he's very clearly an immigrant, and they're like, "Why didn't you immigrate to the U.S.?"
You're like,
You don't-
'cause it's not.
For
What?
such obvious reasons. For so
Uh-huh.
many, like pick a reason. That's why.
I'm like,
Because I can cite this
didn't want
conversation.
Yes.
Right now, right here. This is why. This is why.
Yeah.
Like, I love how people are like they don't want people to immigrate from certain countries, but also they're offended that people wouldn't want to immigrate to.
Wait, you pick Canada? It's like, oh yeah.
He picked the country where you can smell the free health care.
You're right.
I can't even. Okay, I have to. I feel like she's
Aw.
just so cute.
Why aren't we hunting today?
It's Briar. She never wants to do it.
Oh, I thought-
Anything.
That's
The
so
light
funny.
made her look redder. I thought it was Kippy.
She's pretty dark, but yeah,
That's
she's
funny.
like, I'm just glad we didn't
I
get
will
up
be
this
honest, I
morning."
cannot tell your girls apart unless they're right next to each other.
The nose,
And the ears.
the ears. Yeah. That's fair.
The ears are harder to spot now, though.
This is true.
She did grow into her ears, thank God.
She did. Everyone is saying that Briar is cute.
She's just the nicest baby dog ever.
She's like, you're not hunting today? We can snuggle all day?
Excellent. Yeah, Cassie's like, what are we doing today? Where are we going? And Briar's like, oh, yay, nowhere.
Yeah.
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 You're not leaving me alone all day?
No.
That's funny. Aw.
I'm gonna be so mad at you when you leave for Philly.
She didn't really care when I went to Ghana. She was like, all right, you're home.
Yeah, but that was years ago.
True. She well, she's coming to Montreal with me, so that's about the same amount of time, so it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same amount of days.
This is your trip. This is Kippy's trip.
Yeah, she was specifically requested by Sarah. Sarah was like, I mean, you like can bring Cassie if that's better for you, but I would prefer you bring Brian.
I would prefer the one that will actually pay attention to me.
They have a special relationship.
I can understand that.
And also, Sarah only met Cassie when Cassie was like 7 months old, and like, you know, like
Puppy time.
She wasn't a crazy younger child.
she was. Yeah, she's like, oh, that one's so much.
You're a lot, ma'am.
Yeah, but now Cassie would just be like cuddly and sweet, but she definitely wasn't. So
I remember some of the text messages we would get about Cassie.
my little
That
devil.
was psycho as a puppy.
My mom was concerned for me for a few weeks there. She was like, "Oh, that's a golden retriever, huh?"
He's a handful.
Best dog I'll ever own.
It's fair.
Aw. All right, shall we do like a 25-minute sprint, y'all think?
Yeah.
I'm almost done this book.
I just want to finish.
Just moving in the room. Give me a second to get this to do the shit that it needs to do.
Oh, your elbows are so beautiful.
Okay, 25 minutes.
Yeah, I just got to the second round of murders, so I want to get back to my book.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy, we're in the middle of a ghost kidnapping currently. So
Not the Dolly Parton murder.
That just happened. Yeah.
Oh, we murdered Dolly Parton. Why would we do that?
No, he's singing Dolly Parton when he gets murdered.
Yeah. It was like a little comfort moment, and I was like, "Oh, buddy."
Oh
They all were like that. It was all like, "Oh, you're about to be in
Some trouble.
no, you're actually
like-
sweet and not a frat douche.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. 3, 2, 1, and mute your mics. There we go. Welcome back.
Hello.
I finished my book.
That's good.
Yay.
Hey, I
we
read
go.
like 46 pages, and then I read
You're
a few
big.
pages of the Murderbot book.
Come on. You don't need my help jumping on the bed. Come on.
2 whole pages, I think.
Come on.
There we go. Yeah. So, by the way, how are we doing in our 22 hours?
Come on. Well, I'm at now almost 8 hours.
Nice.
Jump. Yes.
I'm at
I'm
5.
like, that's really close to where I am because we've been reading for the same amount of
Yeah,
time.
we did it together. Yeah.
Are you? Does that mean that you're like counting the time that you're talking as reading?
No.
Oh, I am. I'm just counting whatever the sprint timer is. I'm like, sure, that works.
I'm using Bookly to track my reading time because you can stop, you can pause and everything. And sometimes I have to do a little bit of math because I forget it. But I did 5 hours of reading yesterday, and today we are at 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Nice.
So that's total. That would be 7 hours right now and 22. 13 plus 9 is 22? Yes.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Come here, Cassandra.
So, anyways, I gave Forgotten Girl 5 stars. I think and I'm thinking that probably it got fixed in the final draft. The ending was a little bit convenient, I think, but also it's middle grade, so I'm not going to fault it for that too much.
I'm like, what middle grade isn't convenient?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like it wasn't quite as sinister and nefarious as I thought it was going to be. The little girl just basically got caught out in a snowstorm and died. So like I really liked the solution she had. But I think she did a really good job of like putting stuff in there that her readers would pick up on, potentially, or their parents would pick up on, and opening the conversation to them.
That makes sense.
And if you are not Black, you probably missed half of it, but anyway. Eat, Sleep, Read has a very important message. It says, please tell your pup I love them.
Cassie, Eat, Sleep, Read loves you.
I was going to say, I can only see the neck, so I can't tell who it is.
Yippee, girl.
Hi, Kippy.
Yeah, she's the best dog ever, pretty much. So I get why you love her. Sorry, other dogs that are in earshot.
It's okay, Doyle. I love you.
I love you too, Doyle.
Yeah, let's see. How did everyone do? How did the rest of y'all do? Enough about
I'm
me.
65% through. So
Nice.
it was half the sprint. I read 5%. So yeah.
I
And this
actually
is-
did some editing.
Good for you.
Also, Cal, look,
I'm so excited for that.
we're gonna
I love
match.
It's so in right now. Like I saw a woman with Cairn Terriers in like a full tan suit doing her obedience, and I was like, "Wow, I'm gonna have to find like pumpkin colored clothing to match her." I know you're not
I
the
love
easiest
that.
one to
Yeah.
Nice.
At the
Okay.
50% mark, and I'm a little mad at Sam right now.
as you should be.
Yeah,
That's understandable.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get mad at characters.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do dumb things. Look at you looking all majestic, Cassie. We could just like take a thumbnail of that angle.
Yeah, this is great lighting for her.
I know.
Right, Cassie, you
is.
know your good side.
Does she have a bad side though?
No. She looks at me. Don't even suggest that. Don't even. Come here, baby. I know. Come on.
That's so funny. Nadim says read another 8 pages of Kafka on the Shore. So far, I'm liking it.
Nice.
Brittany made lunch. Librarian of Alexandra has one more chapter and the book is finished.
Nice.
Yay!
Eat, Sleep, Read got 7% more of Yaya Sisterhood. Brittany says she's at 6 hours for the whole readathon. Nice. I've got some catching up to do because I didn't do as much reading as I was planning yesterday.
I didn't keep track yesterday, so we're just gonna pretend that I did 7 hours because I know I did at least that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I knew that I had like 4.5 hours left of my audiobook and I finished it, so like it tracks with the little bit of reading that I did.
Right.
Yeah.
And Romance Reader Lisa read 15 pages of Amina al-Sarafi.
Nice. How are you liking it? It's written in English.
It is. Yeah, okay. Nadim asks, is Amina al-Sarafi originally written in English or a translated book? It is written in English, I believe. I think that's Shannon's first language.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
She is a white Muslim convert, so she was not like, it's complicated. It depends on like a lot of things. A lot of people have different opinions on her writing, but I know a lot of my friends who are Muslim are really excited about some of the elements that she's incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because she's like, one of my friends is like, no one ever thinks about this. No one, like, every time we come in this situation, I'm like, why wouldn't you do this? And like, he was really excited that Chakraborty did that. So,
I
anyway.
loved her David Bad trilogy. I still need to read the last one, but like so far, it's been fantastic.
Let's see. Romance Reader Lisa says, I'm loving it. It's funnier than the David Bad trilogy from what I remember the trilogy, and I'm intrigued by the story.
Yay. It's sitting on my shelf I see it right now. And I'm like, woo, I can't wait till I'm done my other book of the month book so I can start reading it.
Nice. Rye says, totally missed coming back, but got to page 146. Nice. Welcome. Good job. Welcome back is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I do have places that I need to go, and apparently I now need to drop a book off at the post office because someone bought the copy of Little Thieves I had on sale.
Woohoo!
Librarian of Alexandria says, I liked David Bod, but always there for funny books. That makes me hopeful because I know David Bod choices are going to be made in the future that kind of make me angry. So I'm waiting until they will not make me angry to finish it.
Classic Margaret move. Just be like, I'm putting this series aside until I can.
I get a ship and then yeah.
You know, sometimes fantasy books are not about the romance.
Yeah, I know sometimes they're not about the romance, but
what is Margaret about though?
Margaret is.
I feel like Margaret might be on the wrong Realmathon team.
Here's the thing. I'm like, you give me fantasy with a little romance versus a full-on romance. I'll take the fantasy with a little romance most of the time.
You just sat on Cassie's head.
That's why. Did you guys see the tweet from Irene Cho where she was saying that we need more asexual representation because not everything needs to be about romance? And I was like, actually, I think you're talking about aromantic because some of us want all the romance.
Yeah, some actually, like, my ace friends are probably the most romantic friends I have. Are probably like the most hyper romantic, like soft teddy bear friends.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Margaret, that's my gender.
We don't have all that sexual attraction stuff to get in the way. Anyways, so I do need to sign off here in a few minutes, but do y'all have anything on your channels that we want to talk about and mention before you go? You may need to refresh because I wasn't sure who was showing up, but everyone is linked in my description box.
Well, I'll have sprints tomorrow for this same
that's
thing.
Right. Speaking of, Brittany is doing sprints at 1:00 Eastern time on her channel over at Brittany Loves Reading. Let me. There we go. We'll put Brittany up there.
You need a Nightbot.
I do need a Nightbot.
Mm-hmm.
That would require me to think of that at a time that I could set up a Nightbot.
Pre-planning.
Margaret doesn't know how to do that.
No.
I can do only so much of that at a time.
Is anyone sprinting tonight, or is Brittany going all day?
I don't think anyone is sprinting tonight. So, because I was thinking about doing tonight, and then I decided I didn't want to because I do have errands that I have to run after I get my hair done. So,
Maybe we will do sprints tonight.
I just hang out with you guys all day and all last night too. Oh,
Yeah.
And all tomorrow.
That sounds
tomorrow I have
cool.
to take a wee break for my
Send me the YouTube link when you guys, if you do get it set up, and I'll put it on YouTube, and then I can probably join in once I'm home.
I will host some unless Cal wants to.
No, that's cool. I did last night and tomorrow night, so
Okay.
Yeah. So we have Brittany at 1, Brianna at a time to be decided.
I'll probably just like whenever Brittany's done, I'll just be like, we'll just come over to.
Yeah. Brittany is going to be also running sprints at 5 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow.
that's
I
4 a.m.
appreciate your ability to do that. I could not.
Yeah.
And then I will be running sprints. I think I said 3 Eastern, and then Cal will be running sprints tomorrow in the evening.
Yeah, I have to get home from. I have a practice obedience match with both Briar and Cassie.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I'm bringing the disappointing dog, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how she's been doing so well in class. So
Yeah. We'll see how she handles the pressure of actually being in a practice match.
fails everything she ever tries. So it's fine. It's fine. We can't all be Cassie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
love
She's
her
gonna
so.
fail next week too.
Brittany says, I plead children and being in an earlier time zone. Yeah, I get it. My friends with kids end up getting up early too. So,
Yeah.
like, I know the only reason we have this one right here is because the doggos.
Like I technically was awake before this started. I was just like, I don't look human yet.
No one needs to be on sprints before 7 a.m. if they're not hosting them. If you're not going to look out yourself. Okay. Any videos coming up that y'all want to plug?
My SPFBO vlog is gonna come up tomorrow.
Yay! Is that all of it? You're done?
The next 3 books.
Okay, the next 3 books. Okay.
So
Okay.
Small Miracles, Song for the Void, and Mysterious Waves.
Nice. Anything exciting coming up on either of your channels or nah? No.
I got a new tattoo.
Yes, I love
Ooh.
that. Have you posted a picture of that, like where people can see it on Twitter? Because that's just a good tattoo.
Not on Twitter. Maybe I should.
Yeah, that's just a good
On
tattoo.
Instagram.
I love that.
Thank you.
Like, I would put that on my wall.
I gave her, I was like, yeah, like a cat with the lyrics, and the cat is wearing sunglasses and is kind of a bitch. And she really came out with actual art. So
That's something that, like, put it on Redbubble, my friend. People want to put that sticker on their
she's
laptop.
so good at that kind of stuff, though. That's like, she's done most of the tattoos on my arms just for that reason. Like, I'll be like, I have this idea, or I'll see one of her flash pieces and I'll be like, holy shit. Like, she's just good at creating like fun, simple art. So
Nice.
Nice. Well, I will see y'all later. Have fun on Brittany's sprints, guys. I'm gonna post the link to that on the Era's Twitter, and then I'll retweet that on my Twitter, and put it in the Discord as well. So part of the official Era's 22 and 72 sprints.
all right.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I need to do the button twice, don't I? So thank you all so much for joining me, and we'll see you later when we'll talk about more wordy nerdy.